Focus, where we have Rashad Phillips and Ja Wallace, and we will be here talking about basketball today. And if anybody in the audience would like to join in, please feel free to ask a question. One of the big questions that I have for you guys today is the Garden, Madison Square Garden. Does the Nets play there too, or just the Knicks? Because I'm not a big basketball person.
That is the mecca of basketball, and it is the home arena of the one and only New York Knicks.
All right, the New York Knicks, are they? Are they though?
Yeah, it's only the Knicks that play there, but you know, Nets is carving out their own history right now. I know it's like kind of confusing because on like the West Side, the Clippers used to play at the same arena as the Lakers, but nah, we don't do that over here.
You don't do that anymore?
Nah.
All right. You know, one of the questions that I've been wanting to ask about is about the coach with the Knicks, you know, because when you see it on the news, you don't really quite understand, and you guys were talking about it a little earlier, and y'all just really seen y'all had it spot on. So give the people a little bit of the background, what's going on with the coach. Somebody, anybody.
I can start off.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
start off.
So, you know, our lovable head coach of the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau, man, he has a great rotation, and he just knows when to pull players, man. He had our starting small forward playing the full game for, what's that, a quarter of the playoff, which is definitely healthy, by the way. I know lots of sports where you just play full time, you don't get no breaks. But yeah, Tom Thibodeau has a lustrous history with his rotation. Shout out to Derrick Rose. If you guys haven't seen, he's retired recently.
Okay.
And it's been this big thing, and you know, I always wondered why he retired so soon. What could have caused this? And I thought about it, and I'm like, wait, Tom Thibodeau didn't pull him out the game when they were up 10, and he was not needed anymore. So he got injured as a result. Everybody's saying, oh my gosh, you're a hater. Oh my gosh, Tom is doing so good for the city. And let's hope it goes well. Let's hope his players stay healthy.
Let me get your take, Rashad. Well, how do you feel about that?
I don't know if you could sense the sarcasm in lot of Josh's response. But a common criticism of Thibodeau does have to do with his rotations and how many minutes he assigns to his players. And that has caused issues in the past. But I would say, something I've been saying in defense of this is that he does now, I think, have the roster he's always dreamed of, because a lot of these players on this Knicks team specifically are equipped to play that many minutes, and they are willing to play that many minutes, and I think they very much so bought into the culture of that Tom Thibodeau has been trying to assign. There are obviously, like with any other team, there are injury issues or injury concerns that people have, but it's been a pretty durable team, I would say so. And with the new piece that they acquired in Karl Anthony Towns, I think actually the risk of injury decreases because it now opens up a lot of space on the floor for players that would be seeing usually the most action that would kind of put them in those dangerous spots.
So you do think it's okay that he does let the players play out as long as they do? So you don't think that would cause more injury? No?
While I do think that there are validities to the criticism, I think he's also been doing this long enough to kind of know that isn't necessarily the best way to go. I do think when it comes to the playoffs, that's what all teams do. All teams are playing their best players for the most amount of time. So it's not really, I don't think there's as big of a difference in the way he goes about things and the way the rest of the NBA goes about things as people make it out to be.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and ask anybody in the audience if they would like to chime in a little bit. And we have Kensley over here. Kensley, please give us your take.
Quick question. How do you feel as the Knicks head coach? How do you feel? Give me your input on how you think the Knicks are going to do this season.
Okay.
I think the Knicks have done a lot in the offseason to kind of bolster the team, right? You've got Jalen Brunson on a very team-friendly contract. You've got Karl Anthony Towns now as a de facto second offensive option.
Rashad, when you give all these little cues, can you kind of explain to the audience what these things exactly are so we could be part of it with you?
So Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson has signed a deal with the New York Knicks that actually isn't even worth the amount of money that he is worth as a star player. And as a result, it's given the Knicks a lot of financial flexibility to equip pieces around him One being former Minnesota Timberwolves player Karl Anthony Towns, who they acquired a couple weeks ago now. Over the offseason as well, they got other players like Mikal Bridges, and last season they had acquired OG Anunoby. I think having those two players, Mikal Bridges played for the Nets and OG Anunoby played for the Raptors. Having those two players together bolsters the defense a lot.
Okay.
You'll hear very commonly the phrase defense wins championships.
Okay.
And I think there is truth to that statement. And I feel like they've gotten their offensive options up because I believe that getting rid of a player that they had like Julius Randle in order to get Karl Anthony Towns does in some way open the offense a lot more. But having players like Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby playing on the floor at the same time bolsters that defense a great deal. And I think the biggest threat in the East would be the Celtics.
Okay.
And I
why?
think this is because they won last year. They have a very versatile team as well, both offensively and defensively. And I think the key to putting up any sort of fight against that team in the East is the kind of roster that's been constructed by the Knicks.
Oh, cool. Let me get your take, John.
Oh man, if I may rebuttal, you said a lot of value.
You did.
You really did. To just basically like go back to like Tom Thibodeau and his like coaching strategy. So like his rotation always like drops off during the playoffs. So it starts, mind you, it's a 15-man roster. There's 15 signed players to the team with $1 million contracts, but you only played 9 in the playoffs. As a result, the more time you play in the game, the more chance you have for injury. That's just a fact. So as Tom Thibodeau, the coach, you have to make decisions now on who to play because you have a full roster. So you have from 1 to 15, you have options. The thing about why the fans are so mad at Tom Thibodeau at times because you don't use those options and they have consequences. And back to Jalen Brunson's contract and the offseason moves. I think Rashad definitely touched on it.
He touched it.
He was like, he got basically a team-friendly contract. But the thing about it, as an individual, it's taken away from his pocket. And with New York taxes and just the salary that he's making, he's very underpaid for. He wants a winning effort. So as a result, now it's like if they don't win, who's that really hurting? Not Tom Thibodeau. His job is secured.
Yeah.
Even when he lost, he got another job. So it's like, bro, when I lose as a player, they're not gonna give me another job. They're gonna be like, you're damaged goods. They're gonna ship me off. So it's like, bro, who are we really benefiting here? Who are you playing for? And then, like his star player before, which Jim in that position now as being the star player, Derrick Rose, look what happened to his career. He had the most potential out of anybody. And that's all we say about his career now. Just potential.
Just
wasted.
potential. I mean, it comes with the, I guess with playing professional sports, injuries is something that's going to come along. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to... I'm going to go ahead and go back to the audience. And I'm going to go ahead and ask our one audience member, how do you feel about what the guys had to say?
I took into what they had to say, and I agree with most of it.
We need your opinion. Well,
How do you feel about the early split of the Nova boys before we got to see them?
It's unfortunate. I do think it's unfortunate. We, a lot of Knicks fans were looking forward to it. The loss of Dante DiVincenzo in particular, I feel like is gonna weigh heavy on us this season, especially. I think if the Knicks do not make it out of the East, I feel like there will be a lot of criticism of that move in particular. Dante was a very, very good asset to the team. Offensively, he was great. I think just from shooting. Into the roster and the talent that they have now to try and really make their first push at extended playoff play in a really long time.
Really long time.
Let me ask you real quickly, just how do you think, I've been watching the Knicks for years, since a kid, and I just want to know, how do you guys feel? Like, do you think they're ever gonna win? Like, they ever gonna bring the championship home to New York? I've been waiting for that for years.
Can I take this one?
Please do. Somebody take it.
So basically, right? What a great way to start off. Like, that's how you know a mark of a good franchise. Are they ever going to win?
Yes, are they?
The last time the Knicks won, I think TV was still black and white.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
Pretty
absolutely
much.
ridiculous how they get away with this. I mean, even TV hosts would tell you, like Stephen A. Smith, like, bro, all these teams, like, y'all remember Derek Fisher Knicks?
Mm-hmm.
That was a terrible team. That was like 3 years. And it was acceptable because y'all just kept perpetrating that they were going to be better than they were going to be. Like, Carmelo Anthony was y'all saving grace. That didn't make no sense.
Does that make sense?
Like, bro, y'all had so much bad pieces around him, and it didn't just make sense for them to win. And y'all just kept living on this, like, fallacy of hope, like, y'all gonna win one day. And it never came true. So it's a lot of delusion, but once y'all start, like, diving into reality of what's actually going on with the team, like, for example, like the Dante DiVincenzo trade that he talked about.
Uh-huh.
Sorry if I messed up his name, but yeah.
I think we got the gist of it.
Trade, basically, like Rashad said, it's a business, but it's more about the intangibles than anything else. Because the whole thing about like the Nova Boys was chemistry. Like the chemistry they had on court is like ridiculous, better than any team. They won a national championship together. But you traded him for Karl Anthony Towns now, and it's like we got to get this new piece acclimated.
That pause?
And then
pause.
it's gonna be like ridiculous. It's like, But
Yeah.
that's all I have to say on it.
Well, Rashad, do you have anything in closing? Because we're going to be wrapping it up soon. So let me give it something good, though.
There's been a lot of negativity around the Knicks for a really long time, from its president to its tenure with Phil Jackson.
I wonder why.
And Knicks brass for a really long time has been under a lot of criticism from Knicks fans. I do think, however, that we are finally making a step in the right direction. You could say all you want about your opinions on the trade, and even I have my own opinions that wouldn't be necessarily positive on the trade. But I do think that I'm willing to believe in the pursuit of a championship for New York. New York is a basketball city. We deserve one. We need to bring one home, and I'd rather it be us than Boston. So.
Yeah, nobody likes Boston, man.
Yeah. Well, we'd like to say thank you at Kingsborough Focus for everybody joining us here today to have this brief conversation on our favorite New York team, our basketball team, the Knicks. And I hope everybody got something out of it today. And I just want to say thank you so much, Rashad and Ja, for being able to sit here with me on this panel and get this discussion out. And I hope everybody got something out of it. Thank you for joining us here at Kingsborough Focus.
Kenzie, man.